Hi Sagittarius, welcome back for your 2019 general read. For those of you who are new, a very warm welcome and a happy new year. And same for my subbies that have been here for the last 2 years, much appreciated. Now the banner that I have directly behind me is for the new channel I have launched. I'm going to be present on both channels as well as live sessions. Also, I do each month give away a free 1 hour session. So if you wish to subscribe, you're then aware of when they're being released and when I will be selecting a person, as well as I do actually answer free questions in my live sessions. Again, the booking system on both channels is exactly the same. So if you want to have a look at your romance reading directly after, feel free, and we'll get directly into your read. Now, the first thing in a download I'm feeling is you're having to do something 3 times and it's really frustrating you. This can be 3rd time lucky, I'm hearing. So some of you might be feeling a bit down connected to relationships and you're thinking, gosh, you know, am I ever going to get the one? And I am really hearing 3rd time lucky. Now, I don't know, this could be with a particular person in general, or whether you're looking at it and assessing it. It might be as well, I'm feeling that you're having to do several things at work over and over again. For those of you who are on holiday, you might be mulling over certain things and tasks that are directly waiting for you. And really, the conflict you're having is communication at the beginning of the month, moving through to the 2nd week. So really balancing that throat chakra, eating food groups of the blue food group is really going to help with your 3rd eye. And I'm seeing throat chakra as well. I don't know why I said blue. It is blue. Just think about that. See, this is probably where your headspace is at. As for the communication style, I'll show you the cards in a minute. I'm feeling as though you're having conflict. This can be with a romantic interest. It can be in general, you're feeling frustrated and you're trying to communicate. This can be even towards ex-partners that you share children with. And it's just, it feels like a frustrating frequency. Some of you aren't talking to this person and you're wanting to, and that's what the frustration is. And that may be why I'm seeing 3rd time lucky. In your 3D state, really, some of you are wanting to hear from something that hasn't ended. In your mind, a situation hasn't ended. Others of you, it does feel there's been this ongoing conflict, maybe in the communication style with people around you, and you don't quite know how to communicate it, but it's almost like you're taking a stand that you feel they need to say something to you, and you're wanting to hear something you believe, or you're wanting to hear something to give you a heads up. This can be waiting for communication about positions, but I'm also feeling that the frustration is waiting for news to come in any shape or form. Work, contracts, it's like there's a lot of agitation around you where you're trying to get things off the ground. This can be at a very slight pocket. You know, if you can keep balance to move through that frequency, I feel you'll be able to cope. In your fair-based frequency, which is more the 4D, my hair's doing this funky thing today. The 4D frequency is when we're really meditating upon a drama, right? This is the best way, or the slightest way I can communicate this. You tuning into what you're fearing or what your higher consciousness, it can come positive or negative, but if you tap into it, you're feeling, you're afraid to be open towards a certain person, okay? You're very afraid that maybe they don't have the same mindset as you. And some of you are afraid that they don't want to be happy. Now, this can be a partner you're with and you're looking at them and they're really in that frequency and you're thinking, is this ever going to change? Be very careful what you're tuning into. If you find yourself drifting off in that way, again, your fair-based frequencies might be manifesting into fruition, and that's frustrating you, and it's giving you the clarity. But regardless, this is your fair domain, okay? So this is where you're looking at it going, look, I want to be happy. Does this person want to be happy? Why are people around me triggered? But I'm feeling it's like universe is giving it to you because there's something inside at the moment that is making you agitated that you do want to communicate, especially with your throat chakra and energies around you. Even a love interest, it could be that you're wanting to communicate, and that's what's frustrating you, and it's seeping down into all the other areas. In your 5D state, you know, your higher consciousness of what you know to the core you need to do, what universe is trying to communicate to you, it's the guidance is from within, and you know what you need to do, but it's making you like overwhelmed, okay? So you know where the trigger's coming from for many of you, but at the same time, it's just a frustrating frequency of wanting to get things moving, especially moving into the first 2 weeks. Some of you also at a financial level maybe feeling cross at yourselves for not trusting your intuition when it came to the finances, when it comes to employment. Some of you are even looking at your job and thinking, I applied for another position, was I stupid to apply? But at the same time, some of you may be returning to an old way of doing things. This might be an old frequency, negative or positive. It can be how you have manifested this. Whatever we feel inside is directly what we manifest outside of ourselves. So even if we've got a tsunami going on in our life, it is very hard to drop that frequency, and sometimes it's the purge, especially from 2018. You get into it, you're doing the work, you have these epiphanies and these realizations, and then moving forward into 2019, really coming to a place where we're shaking that energy off, and that can take a few months to get us really, you know, up and upbeat and moving, especially with the entire year being in retrograde. I found it really amusing with the Venus retrograde, and then Venus went direct on the same day Mercury went retrograde, and really to sum that up, it was almost like we were being asked to, now that we have purged, healed, dealt with things at a 3D level, had some disasters happen, had some emotional turmoil of some description, financial, love, etc., to have that silence, because Mercury is about communication, and 2019 is very much about the art of communication and getting grounded and building upon the new foundation. That frequency is odd that you would have had the state of actually hearing your own thoughts in a little bit of a lighter frequency to actually see quite clearly. Now, don't be cross at yourself if something hasn't come about the way you had wanted it to, okay? It's not saying it's not going to get better, especially at a financial level or a career level, but it's really asking you now, even if you did feel guilty you didn't follow your intuition, now go back to the frequency of saying, thank you, universe. I'm grateful that I know how to use my intuition. I'm damn straight not going to do that again. But you've taken something that where it failed and it took a time to fail, you now can take those assets with you to make it succeed in a shorter time frame. Okay? Swap it. Not the glass half full. No, the glass half empty. The glass half full. You're topping that thing up. What's blocking you, again, is communication, which to me is saying, if you're waiting to get back to work, if you're using technology to do work, it can be frustrations with that. Some of you, the communication with your love interest is problematic within the financial sector, and as I said, it's affecting the ship. It's affecting situations. So if you're wanting this reunion, it could be costing you financially to do such, and also to reunite with some aspects of cash that were loaned out and come back. That's going to take a little bit of time, and there's delays in the communication for that returning to you, especially at a loan level. I'm seeing there are paperwork related dynamics being tied up behind the scenes. In your family domain, 3 cards fell down. Now, the energy is very base chakra frequency and it's upright, which is quite positive. It may be with a particular family member, not all of them, a particular one. You're feeling more grounded. It may be even their energy is becoming such. One of them might be single, had a breakup, for those of you who this is relevant, or it may be that you guys did have a falling out in the connection, and also there may be one parent absent, okay? You don't know what to do with this situation because, you know, most of the cards upright like this, you're trying to work it out. You're trying to work some conflict out. And what is blocking you from that is because you're not sure whether you do want to. You know, some things in your mind, especially with the first energies coming through, you might be looking at the family domain and saying, you know, is there something that can be salvaged here? This could be your direct partner, it could be family members, it could be disputes. The dispute itself could be the thing that you just need to let go. But really, I feel you are digging your heels in and you're wanting to have the communication, but you're in two minds about it. But it is ending, okay? So the block is ending and it's about letting something go. So it may be you directly letting something go. I swear I'm cursed with these readings today. I had one phone call during your reading. This is probably a frequency of what you're going through. And then I had a trigger in the reading where I picked the wrong deck up and I was like, no, I wasn't using that deck. And now my washing machine's spinning like it's about to go off on a plane. Dreams. Can you hear it? It's driving me crazy. One of your dreams you feel might be connected to a child. It may be triggering you to try and be mature within the dream state. A dream might have not come about in a way you thought it did. Thought it was going to. You didn't reach the pinnacle of that. Now, off the bat, very separate energy, especially since there's a child in the card and you've had some disputes here that's coming through. It's not disputes, it's frequency, I'd say. This card in reverse can be connected to a partner you've left. And you healing that process of, I wanted it to look a certain way. Some of you may have wanted children. Some of you haven't had children yet or can't. Even that wound coming up in your dream state, if in some shape or form you're looking at your life and you're thinking, how do I manifest a future? And I'm in this frequency. Even the trigger point is helping you heal that aspect. It could even be a child drama that's gone on in your life from the family situation, totally separate to just a partnered energy. But it's also about, if you want these dreams to come through, there is a mature frequency that needs to come about, which is going to need to be grounded in order to attain this dream. It may be, again, that communication is the block and you actually taming the beast inside and communicating in an according fashion, because this can really block these dreams from getting off the ground. And having hope where hope should not be. You'll know how that relates to you. But again, don't be cross at your energy for anything that's transpired. Absorb it, process it, and then, you know, try and do something for yourself to keep yourself grounded, to help the frequency move forward. Because what you're not seeing is you are going to have forgiveness in this. And it can be, if there has been disputes, everything's going to get back on track. For others of you, it may be a friend is going to directly support you in this situation to help you process and heal whatever has gone on from 2018 through to January for you. But whatever you're wanting to get off the ground in the aspect of communications with the frustrations you're experiencing, what is blocking you is, you know, it could have been a partner that wasn't faithful for some of you, not all of you. It can be partnerships in general that haven't gone according to plan, and you know, you're looking at the jobs and thinking, maybe I just start my own business, because this clearly isn't working. But it's really an assessment time. And again, the eclipse energies will be interesting how they directly impact us. I'm going to pull a few cards to see any advice. Communication is coming in. So if you are waiting on documents, contracts, or positions, some of you, this is a very different message of you're waiting for a divorce to be remarried or for paperwork to come in. But there is communication coming in. This can be in relation to bills, which is really making you feel, you know, frustrated of you not following your intuition with this situation. It might be for some of you looking at a job and going, I don't want this job, or walking away. But there is going to be a happy connection, okay? So if you are deciding to leave it, please don't get into the frequency that that's it. This is a temporary energy. It can be, again, especially with what's blocking you. Some of you, you know, have well and truly already left a connection, a job, a person, friends, and the reunion. You know, what's blocking you is finances in order to move, to be closer to these people. This can even be with your partner. But you may have had false people around you that's really triggered you. best possible outcome. Okay, you are going to heal. The happiness is returning. It will be by the second week. It's just conflicts, but there is a delay in travel and movement, okay? So it's almost be gentle with yourself. Whatever's going on, don't blame yourself. Everything is always divinely guided, so even the most horrible things. Now, if you are away from a child, don't stress. Everything's going to get balanced out. Maybe you have to work away. One message coming through. Love and light, and I will see you mid-month. Otherwise, I'll see you during the live sessions.